we'll be doing chair yoga, mostly seated poses, focusing more on the legs. You'll need a stable chair. Hi, Dad. Glad you can make it. A chair without sides, preferably, but definitely one without wheels. You might need some blocks either for underneath your feet, if your feet don't quite reach the ground, or for some people for underneath your hands. And anything else that you normally use in your practice, maybe blankets or a yoga strap or anything like that. So make sure your chair is nice and solid beneath you and that you're on a surface where you won't slip. So maybe you place your yoga mat underneath your chair. We'll go ahead and get started today by tuning inwards and focusing on the breath. So feel free to get comfortable. Maybe you sit back in your chair a little bit. Rest your hands on your legs and close your eyes. Start to notice your breath as you inhale in and exhale out. Feeling the air, noticing the temperature of the air as you breathe in through your nose. And same thing as you exhale. Notice how you're feeling today. Physically, are there any aches and pains or anything to be mindful of today? How's your energy level? Using that to guide your practice. How are you feeling emotionally today? And just being honest and noticing what comes up with that without judgment. Then circle back to your breath. As you inhale in, feel your belly expanding outwards. And as you exhale, feeling your navel draw back in as you release the air. And inhale and exhale. We'll take a few rounds of breath on our own. When you're ready, take a nice deep breath in and exhale out, blinking your eyes open. You can sit up a little straighter on your chair if you haven't already. Maybe scoot more towards the middle. And we'll start with some cat-cows. Inhale, open up through your chest. And exhale, round through your spine. And inhale, gentle chest opening. Notice if your head is coming back. Try and keep your neck at a more neutral angle. And as you exhale, you can drop your chin to your chest as you round through your spine. And take a couple more with your own breath. And last one, inhale and exhale. and meet back in center. And we'll take a side body stretch. So for this, as we lean over, feel free to grab either the side of your chair or cross your body and grab your opposite leg. So whatever feels more stable to you. We'll start with an inhale in and exhale out. Next inhale, arms reach up overhead and side body bend to the left. Left arm comes down to your chair or crosses your body. Sorry, got my arms mixed up. And hold for a couple breaths. You don't have to go too deep into it, but do notice if you're kind of turning forwards. See if you can open up your chest a little bit more to the ceiling. And one more breath here. And then release back to center. And inhale, arms reach up and taking the other side. So right hand can come to the side of your chair or across your leg. And left arm reaches up and over. And one more breath. And then reach up back to center. We'll flow with our breath this time, but feel free to hold the stretches longer if you'd like. Inhale, arms reach up. And exhale, side body bend. And with your own breath, reaching over to the other side. You can move as slow as you'd like here. Maybe finding a stretch through your arms. And let's take one more each way. And meet back in center. Pause for a breath and notice how you feel. Next, we'll come into twists. So for this, you can grab the top of your chair or the base of your chair at the back, depending on what's more comfortable for you. So starting with an inhale in and out, right where you are. And the next breath in, arms reach up overhead. Twist your torso to the left. Notice how far you go naturally. This is where you want to stay in your twist. And then arms drop down from here. And you can rest your hands on the top or the base of the chair. Try and hold that same core position. Notice if you've twisted deeper into the pose using the chair as support. We want to just go to our natural range today. And every day for that matter. And one more breath. And back to center. And same thing, other side, arms reach up. And twisting to the side. Notice where you naturally stop. And then lower your hands from here. And take a couple breaths. And inhale in and release. We'll move with our breath again, just like we did before, but this time with twists. But again, feel free to hold longer if you'd like. Starting with a breath in and out. And then next breath in, arms reach up overhead. And as you exhale, twist. Lower your hands. Hold for a breath or two. And then release back to center. Next breath in, arms reach up. Exhale, twist. Arms lower for support. And take a breath. And release. And one more time each side. And meet back in center and end with a breath, noticing how you feel. When you're ready, we'll start to warm up the lower half of the body. So start by pressing your right leg into the ground and drawing your left knee up. Just drawing up as far as is comfortable. Feel free to stay lower, closer to the ground. And warm up your ankle. So circle your ankle one way and the other. And point and flex through your foot. From here, we'll take leg swings. So move your grip to underneath your leg, or feel free to do this without holding your leg. Flex through your foot and swing your leg out straight as you can, but don't feel like you have to straighten through the knee. And then bend again. With your toes flexed, notice if you can feel a stretch through the back of your leg here. Take one more. And then release. Lower your knee if you need to. And when you're ready, draw your knee back up and open up through your hips. So taking your left hand to the outside of your leg, take nice big circles. Again, just moving to a comfortable range of motion. And switch opposite way. And one more. And then release back to center. And we'll take the other side. So planting your left foot, draw your right knee up this time. Again, you can be up closer to your chest or down lower to the floor. And circle your ankle. And reverse directions. And point and flex through your foot. From here, we'll take our leg swings. So hands underneath your leg, or feel free to release. Flexing through your toes. Straightening and bending your leg. Remember, you don't have to fully straighten. Just go as far as is comfortable. Notice any differences you feel on this side compared to the other. For example, this side, this leg feels a little tighter to me, so I can feel this stretch better on this side. Just notice anything similar for yourself. Take one more. Lowering your leg if you'd like. And then taking our knee circles. So lifting your knee back up, outside hand to your knee. And taking big circles and switching directions. And one more. And then meet back in center. Again, pausing to notice how you feel. Take a breath and maybe take some water. From here, we'll work on the feet a little. And we'll start by lifting our heels, coming up onto the balls of the feet. And then lower your heels. And this time, lift up your toes. And moving nice and slow, switch back and forth, lifting your heels and then lifting your toes. If you can, notice if you can spread your toes apart while your toes are lifted. If you're wearing shoes, that might be kind of hard to do, but otherwise, see how far you can spread apart your toes. Then take one more, lifting your heels, and then your toes, and then release down. Continuing our leg work, Today's more of a leg class. We'll take marching knees. So starting with just the knees, you can keep your hands on your legs or grab the sides of your chair for extra support. And see if you can move with your breath here. So start with an inhale in and out. Then inhale, left leg lifts up and lower. And inhale, right leg lifts up and lower. 2 more, nice and slow. And release. This time, keep doing that with your arms down, or feel free to lift opposite arm and opposite knee. You can keep the other hand on your leg or to the side of your chair. So inhale, lift your left leg and right arm. And exhale, lower. And switch, left arm, right knee. And release. And inhale, lift. You can always skip the arms and just do knees here. And don't be afraid to move nice and slow here. It can feel kind of different to slow down and move with the breath. And as long as there isn't any pain, it's a good practice to have. And even out, finish up the side you're working on and release. And once more, take a breath. And maybe some water. From here, we'll do just a little bit of core. So we'll take that same twisting motion we did in the beginning, where our arms were lifted and we twisted as far as was comfortable naturally. So you can keep your hands on your legs, to the sides of your chair, or whatever combination helps. You can also take your hands behind your head and start with a deep breath in and out. And one more in. And then exhale, twist to the left. And inhale to center. And exhale, twist to the right. And center. And twist. Inhale. And other side. Take a couple more rounds, moving with your own breath. You can always lower your hands if you'd like. And one more. And meet back in the center. Notice how you feel. And last core work for today is lifting up the knees. For this, you can have your hands raised, or you can always have your hands on your legs or chair. We'll do this 3 times, starting with a nice deep breath in and out. And inhale in. And exhale, legs lift up, feet lift up. Maybe you just do one at a time. Maybe your arms are lifted. Maybe you're grabbing the sides of your chair. Hold for one more breath. And release. So you can always do this one leg at a time. We'll take 2 more, starting with an inhale. And then on the exhale, legs lift up. And one more breath. And release. We'll take one more, but as always, feel free to skip it if one more is just too much today. Inhale in. And exhale. Knees lift up. Feet are just above the ground. Even if they're just slightly off the ground, that's still good work. And one more breath. And release. Notice how you feel. Take some water. We'll take a couple of cat-cows in the meantime. So when you're ready, inhale, open through your chest, and release, moving through your spine. And one more. And releasing back up. And before we finish today with Shavasana, we'll take a couple of side lunges. So you can do what we did in the beginning, drawing one knee up to your chest, and that's a great stretch. Or you can join me in something a little different. Feel free to have blocks nearby if you'd like. So what you'll be doing is turning to face one side. So for example, turning to face the left side. You might scoot closer to the edge of your chair. While you're here, feel free to grab the top or base of your chair, whatever feels more stable for you. Press into the ground with your left foot, grab onto your chair, and your right foot will step behind you, just in front of the chair. You can keep your foot quite close to your left foot if you'd like, or you can step your foot back into more of a traditional lunge shape. But if that's too much, feel free to dial it back, bringing your knee more at a 90-degree angle and stepping your foot closer to your other one. If you need some extra support, maybe you have some blocks right by this right hand. Hold for one more breath. And then step your right foot back to meet the left. And notice how you feel. And we'll take the other side. So walking over to the right side. And if this is too much, or if I'm not explaining it great, feel free to just come back to knee to chest for a lunge instead. So facing the right, pressing into the ground with your right foot, grabbing the base of your chair. Start to step your left foot back. Maybe you keep it closer to your right leg, or maybe you step it further back to more of a traditional lunge shape. But just go where is comfortable for you today. This one can be pretty intense. And hold for one more breath. And exhale, step your left foot up and walk back to center. Now that we've walked through it once, we'll do it one more time. But again, feel free to skip it, head straight to Shavasana, or take knees to chest. But when you're ready, we'll take one more time each side. So walking over to the left, grabbing your chair with your left hand, pressing into the ground with your left foot. Right foot starts to step back until you find a comfortable position. Your right hand maybe comes to your left leg for some extra support, or lifts up overhead. And one more breath. And to exhale, right foot steps back up to meet the left. And walk your feet through center and to the right. Right foot is firm on the ground. Grabbing your chair with your right hand, start to step your left foot back. Maybe your left hand comes to your knee or lifts up overhead. And one more breath. And your foot steps back up and walk back to center. Once more, Taking a breath and notice how you feel. Maybe some water. When you're ready, we'll make our way into Shavasana. But before we do so, take note of your body from head all the way down to your toes. And notice if there's anything that you'd like to spend more time stretching, or for example, if you're feeling tight in the shoulders or tight in the legs from the leg work we did, feel free to take some time for some extra stretches. So maybe drawing your knees in, maybe taking some leg swings, maybe taking some gentle neck bends from side to side, or half neck circles. That can feel really good too. But when you're ready, you can join me in Shavasana, which you can do from your couch or your bed, but you can also do right from where you're sitting. So start by leaning back in your chair, walking your feet out. Let your hands rest on your legs, and your chin can dip down towards your chest. And if you're comfortable, you can close your eyes. We'll be here for a few minutes today. I'll let you know when it's time for us to move again, but feel free to head out if you need to, or stay longer if you do have the time. Take a deep breath in and out. Stay here longer if you'd like, but if you're ready to move again, start by moving your fingers and your toes. Blink your eyes open and come back to your breath. And in your own time, sitting back upright, feeling your feet firmly on the mat or on blocks, and feeling your hands resting on your legs. Notice any changes from your practice today, either physically, mentally, or emotionally. And bring your awareness back to your breath. We'll take a few moments in silence, just sitting in the afterglow of our practice. This is often when I like to meditate after a yoga practice, so feel free to stay here after we're done and just spend a few moments in quiet meditation. When you're ready, deepen your breath and blink your eyes open. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I hope you enjoyed today's practice. We did a little more legs than usual. I hope you have a great rest of your night and a great rest of your week. Take care.